So I have almost 400,000 followers on Instagram, and I wanna show you behind the scenes how much money I make from this account. Let's do it. So for full transparency, this isn't an overnight success video. I've been doing this for over a decade, and this is like before DMs, Reels, stories, and even before Zuckerberg came on the scene. It has taken me a decade to get to this point. So over the course of so many years, I have definitely made money off of this account, and it's not really what you think. So pause the video real quick, drop in the comments what you think that number is, and we'll continue. All right, so drum roll please. This year, over the past 12 months, I've made a whopping. If this is the first one of my videos that you're watching, what's up? Welcome to the channel. My name is Jay. I'm a FINRA certified educator, an investor, and just someone who is looking to get some knowledge out about past experience and mistakes. These videos literally take me weeks to make. From the moment we decide what we wanna shoot a video on, to writing the script, to shooting the video. And by the way, this is the first video in my new home office. I have no idea what to put in this wall. So if you have some ideas, let me know. But again, they take me weeks. So if you would, just consider subscribing if this is the type of content that you enjoy and that you want to learn about. Negative $13,386, give or take. All right, so my best year with Instagram was actually north of $30,000, but I definitely decided to tone it down and change the strategy. So my account today actually cost me north of $1,000 per month to run, and I wanna break down exactly what that cost means. So as many of you know, Instagram recently created this Reels bonus structure where they're paying their content creators a certain amount of money based on the videos that they put up. The first time I got this notification, I was like, about time. You guys are making literally billions of dollars off of the creators, never allowing the creators to get anything back. So it is about time. And it kind of sucks that it took something like TikTok for them to actually step up. Ultimately, they're paying the creators because they want more market share that TikTok has been eating up. So how do the Reel bonus actually work? The bonus is paid out monthly with an accelerated build. And what that really means is they're just gonna pay me more for my first few views. And as I get more and more views, they're gonna pay me less and less for those views. So to give you an example, for the month of August, I got about 100,000 views on my Reels, and they paid me a little over $100 for those 100,000 views. Now, that comes out to about a $1 per CPM, or cost per thousand. If you fast forward in the month of September, I am at about 233,000 views, so I'm doing a lot better than I did in August, but they're only actually paying me $121, so 5 cents per CPM. Now, a lot of you are thinking this is probably good money, but if you look at YouTube, for instance, if I were to get the same number of views on YouTube based on just the average CPM, instead of me making $121, I would actually be making closer to $700 because YouTube pays much higher per CPM. So one thing to keep in mind, if you're looking to monetize your Instagram account, you don't actually have to do it just based on the Reels bonus or the creator bonus. The number one way that I see people making money on Instagram is by doing shout outs, right? This is pretty old school, probably one of the first ways where people started making money on Instagram. And that's just simply you reach out to people, or people reach out to you. They want to get in front of your followers, and you create some sort of pricing around your post, whether it's a picture, a carousel, a video, a reel, a story, whatever it happens to be. You kind of create your own pricing guide and give someone those rates. Once I got to a certain point, like, people started reaching out all the time. Like, I would get a few requests every week, and then I'd have to go back, find the last DM that I sent, copy and paste. So I just created like this media kit. I'm gonna drop it in the description below if you're looking to build yours similar to mine. But ultimately, it would break down exactly what our reach is, what are our demographics, how many people are engaging with the content, right? Exactly what an advertiser would like to know. So I would take a look at their account. Do they have products and a service? And is it a company that I even want to push out to my followers? I don't want to do something that's completely left field, right? It needs to align, or two things are going to happen. One, your audience is just not going to engage with it or even dislike it and end up unfollowing you. Or number two, the brand is not going to be successful, and essentially they're never going to come back and never advertise you again, or never give you any referrals or ask for something, right? If you get paid via PayPal, for instance, they can report you to PayPal. It's just a hassle. So make sure the audience aligned and that the campaign is going to be a success. At the time, for me, that was like $50 to $100. They would pretty much send me everything, the captions, the hashtags. I would just get it up. It would stay up for about 24 hours and then I just take it down. I think it was like a year or two ago that I had like my best paying client, which was a 15-second video for a Christian dating site. I think it was called Upward. They're like still all over the place. And they paid me like almost $500 to get a post up, you know, quickly. And they did this, or it was a campaign, right? So they did several posts over the period of a couple of weeks. And that was like unheard of. But because I didn't actually want to do the ad, I was like, let me just tell them 500. And I assume they're just gonna back away or they're gonna do it. It's kind of a win-win for me. And they had the budget for it, so they went ahead and did it. And I mean, it had to be the easiest $500 I ever made. The other way you can go about monetizing your account is of course through like an affiliate program. And I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this, and everyone knows what it is. Essentially, you sign up for one of these programs, they're gonna give you your unique link, you publish out content, reference the link, people go to the link, and you make a percentage of all the sales. This one is a lot easier because you can definitely look for product that align with your brand, and it's definitely a lot more scalable, but you have the same issues, right? And the same negatives as you do monetizing any accounts. This is the one way I've actually never tried to do because I feel like it's a lot of work, and if I'm gonna put work, I'd rather make more returns than just a small percentage. The other thing you can do is you can sell something, right? A product, a service, some sort of like digital guide or something, but this is very like profitable. I actually had a business where I was selling bracelets, and I'll link the video here in case anyone wants to check it out. I tell the entire story. My best week was like $3,000, which is insane in gross revenue. That's like an Instagram business that is making well over $150,000 per year, which is absolutely insane. If I was able to scale it, I could probably get it even up above that. But at the time, it took a lot of my effort, and it wasn't something I really wanted to dive into, so I really didn't dedicate that much time to it. The account got shut down, and then I ended up losing all of it pretty much. Essentially, once you built an audience, which is like the hard part, you can monetize, and you can monetize in a way that makes sense for your audience. The problem with that though, like, it's the time commitment. I remember having to stack up all the orders on my desk, and then you put them in an envelope with a couple of cards. You're managing inventory, you're printing labels, you're dealing with returns and customers all the time. It's a massive time commitment. What I actually started to do is more digital products to kind of test that out, so that, you know, everything could work more autonomously without me having to essentially trade time for X number of dollars. My very first digital product was actually an Instagram course. And I pretty much laid out everything that I did and learned, you know, all the mistakes I made to build the audience online, and specifically on Instagram. I actually noticed that a lot of the instructors didn't actually have like a massive Instagram account, and they're teaching others how to get one. The course is selling on Udemy right now for like $9.99, and it has, you know, 15,000 students. You don't have to pull out a calculator. We'll do the math at the end and tally everything out. The most recent thing I kind of been trying is I wrote a biblical guide on budgeting, and that's just selling for like a name your price on Gumroad. It took me months of work, and like I'm not actually pushing it out as often as I should because I'm just kind of testing it to see if it works. I'm trying to get as much feedback from people as possible, because if it's an interesting product, right, then I want to dedicate more time to it. If not, then it was a resource for me because I'd like to budget with biblical principles. So ultimately the way I thought about it was like, look, I'm gonna make this for me. I might as well make it for other people as well. So it's going well, to be honest. We're selling like every few days or something, a couple of them get sold, and it's just people clicking on my bio and finding out about it pretty much organically without me really talking about it. All right, so with all that being said, let's do the math. So just like any business, there's a lot of costs associated with running an Instagram account or trying to build an Instagram account. Let's go through a couple of those now. So the biggest negative about, you know, running or working or trying to build an Instagram is the amount of time. Like, you actually have to dedicate time to the platform. And if you're not doing that, if you're just posting, getting in, getting out, switching accounts because you have your personal, which you actually spend time on, it's not going to work. That business is not going to become profitable. It's not going to grow. So like in my case, between doing Instagram, you know, working a full-time job, being a dad, a parent, it's very challenging for me. It's extremely challenging because like if I was dedicating my entire time and resources to Instagram, it would be an entirely different case, but I'm not. I have my family and I have a job that's like amazing and I absolutely love it. So I just can't pull the trigger and focus on just one. But at the same time, I'm cognizant that I'd rather build something for myself versus dedicate all my time and build it for someone else. So I do have a social media manager, and she helps me create content calendar, planning. She creates the graphics, she schedules them to go out, she manages content, a lot of the DM, the comments, I mean, it helps significantly. And right now she's part-time and she's amazing, and I probably want to get her full-time at some point. On that side of things though, like, you have to remember, if you're going to bring someone on full-time, you have to take on the responsibility for someone else's income. It's not something you can just take lightly. Is, you know, you're caring for someone, you need to be consistent. It's not some sort of contractor role. You need to do it very seriously. There's the accounting and taxation principles that go into play. So it's just something that, like, we really need to consider before taking that step. The second person on my team is actually a video editor who's editing this video right now. He's amazing. We've been working together for several months, and I feel like it's gotten easier and easier. Editing is a huge time suck. It literally, like, I can't emphasize this enough. It probably takes me just as long to edit the video than it does everything else. So, like, doing all the research, writing kind of a script, getting it live, right, scheduling it. He does all of that. And although it's mainly YouTube, he also works on my Instagram Reels as well and breaks down the content. So the cost is all in and embedded. Between me working multiple gigs, being a dad, trying to spend time with my family, like, it's almost impossible for me to find time to shoot now. Imagine if I had to actually edit these videos. So I'm hoping that I get to the point where I can shoot more frequently, send him more content gets put out. Then we use a bunch of apps, right, to make everybody's life easier. So, like, you know, Slack, Frame, Instagram Scheduler, things like that, that just, again, create efficiency, communication, and allow everyone to work as collaboratively as possible. So let me break this down for you, show you exactly what the expenses look like.